Okay, this video is going to be about the star. Now, we last left our other video out telling you about why easy mode didn't work. This video is actually going to be talking about the star and how even if the star messed up and went off wrong because they got just basically just caught up in the height of things, there's a way to come back from it and make things right. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Simply, how to grow your channel once you make it to the top. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to refocus. Refocus your goals. Refocus your attention. Refocus by taking it all in, setting new strategies and goals, learning more about the platform. Then, once you learn about the platform, educate others. A couple of do's and don'ts when you're up there. Do remain humble. And don't put on fake authenticity. It just will not last. Now, the way to coast on a wave when it's coming down, if you ever watch a surfer ride the wave and he's on the top and eventually, the wave comes in and he coasts that wave on into the shore, okay, gnarly dude. And for those that remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, they used to do that when they were surfing. Gnarly dude. Okay. But how they coast the wave in, or either how a wave is over them and they're low and they're coasting the wave, right? Think about this that way. The way you coast the wave, so no matter what that trend does, whether it flops out, continue on, or just stay stagnant somewhat, you're on it. What you need to do is coast the wave. And by coasting the wave, that means you have to have valuable information to give to other content creators who are looking to be where you are someday. It won't probably be the day that you're actually becoming this yourself, but over time, they will. That's why one of my key components when I started doing this, I had started a Beat the Algorithm challenge last year, where I was trying to introduce what the algorithm really was and try to help educate people on the algorithm by playing a game with them. Well, but at the time, it just wasn't catching on. And the reason being is because nobody really knew who I was. I was new on the platform as far as YouTube was concerned, talking about YouTube growth. So why would people listen? Well, that's to take a lot of people take. If a person has less subscribers and not a lot of views, then what they're saying obviously can't be working because they don't have it. Well, that's where you're wrong, because not everybody with low subscribers or low views don't know what they're talking about. They may be very knowledgeable. They might just have started. They may have just been a viewer. They may have been someone who just dibbled and dabbled but didn't really take it serious. But now they want to take it serious. Doesn't mean that they don't know what they're talking about. So, in order to be a good leader, one must know how to serve. You must learn to serve before you lead. That is why it is probably important to allow your channel to grow gradually, because when your channel grows gradually, when you grow through the muck of things, or when you get down and dirty with things, then you get a sense of, what it was like when you were down there. And typically, if you remain humble, you will always hold that inside you and know that you were once in someone else's shoes. So you don't want to make moving forward anybody that follow you journey a little less harder in order to become successful quicker than what it took you to do. Now, a lot of content creators do say that very message. They say that I've been there, I know what you're talking about, I know what you've been through because I was once in your shoes. When somebody's stressed about once being in your shoes, but not really telling you how to get out of being in your shoes, then that's a clear indicator that the person does not know how. They're just selling you a story and it becomes fake authenticity. Now, don't get me wrong. This video is not to bash the persons that are doing this. It's to bring knowledge to them. What you're doing is wrong in order to fix it. And now the real purpose of this video is to help this person up top continue on to do better. And the steps to do that is to refocus. I contribute this whole get up to when a person wins the lottery. When they win a large sum of money that they weren't used to having, it kind of go to their head in excitement and the adrenaline is rushing within inside them and they just want to tell the world about their wealth. Well, anybody that has won the lottery and they seek advice, the first advice they tell you is to not tell anybody that you won. Okay? Take it in. Refocus, make up new strategies and goals, and decide what you want to do with your money. It's no different when you come into leadership at a high level when you wanted it so bad and it finally happened. The same adrenaline rush that rushed through a lottery winner is now rushing through you. So you must calm down. And so typically what happens is a lot of people do things that typically they probably wouldn't have done if they were in the right frame of mind and wasn't just letting instant fame and money take over. I'm gonna put this to the side on my back pocket real quick. Okay? This is kind of cutting my fingers. They'll do things a little better. So what typically happens with the star is they'll just tell you what they thought made them get here. And most of it, half of the time, because they're not really thinking clearly and really looking at things for what it really is, they're giving out false information as to why it happened. Right? Some might be doing it intentionally, but others may be doing it unknowingly. But it still doesn't change the fact that it's misleading. So what we're trying to do, or what I'm trying to do at this point, is to help the person that is on top refocus. The steps that I'm telling you is not new. It's what everybody go through when they go through this. In a business, when you get a promotion, you have to refocus from whatever level you was in to whatever level you're going to. You have to come up with new strategies and goals for your new position. You have to learn that new position, and then you have to educate people that are below you. So what I'm saying is no different from any other business structure. And take no bones about it, this is a business. So you have to refocus. You have to remain humble. You have to not fall into the fake authenticity because you'll be dragging people with you or behind you without any real information. And so what typically happens is if the creators are not seeing success that you promised, they're going to start letting people know or unsubscribe to you or stop watching you or stop following you and telling everybody They don't know what they're talking about. They just got lucky, right? And so now you're not looking like a big success. Now, in the YouTube world, up front, initially, that person will continue on to look as though they're still up top, but they're really at the bottom of the wave. Because when this happens, it swarms in a lot of numbers up front, right? It still appears that they are on top. I made a video to show how you could look at numbers and see whether or not a person is actually doing well. And I also made statements in previous videos that if a person really wanted to be honest with you, they will show you their analytics moving forward. Not the same week, not the next week, but 2-3 weeks later, 2 months later, 3 months later. Because typically if you catch a wave that is really large, then the appearance of still being on top will last for a couple of months. The reason being is because YouTube operates everything 1 month behind, right? Even if you look up under your analytics, you'll see something that says 48 hours. If you go within 48 hours, you'll see something say 60 minutes. It never really breaks it down in a 24-hour period unless you're looking at your particular video in a 24-hour period in order to get the information so you can follow that information to see what it's doing. Most people don't do that because that takes a lot of work. And in our society today, people want the easy mode out of everything. Hence, YouTube is on easy mode. It's not, right? In order to be successful and knowledgeable about what you're doing, you have to research. And the best person to research is yourself, right? Then you need to find somebody who is doing the same thing that you are doing and research them. My suggestion would be to do this to multiple people at once. And then you can get an array of information when you're getting your data. All right, so once you realize that the person is no longer there and they're down here, but it appears like they're still there, right? It makes the people here no longer look up to the person up there because they gave them false hope or they sold them a dream, basically, that was not going to come true. And it could have been unintentionally. And it could have been intentionally, as each individual person and what their purpose of doing that was for. And no one can tell why that person did that unless they show signs of this is why they did it. Like if they're scamming you continuously, then you can kind of pick up on why they did it, right? Or if they jump into a pattern of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, then you could say, this is why they're doing it, right? Or people can assume why you're doing what you're doing because of your situation. You don't want to be back in that situation, so you're going to do whatever you need to in order to stay where you're at, even if it means hurting someone else. Why? Because in people's mind, they seem to think nobody cares about them, right? When in fact, people really do care about your well-being because you're sharing your story if it's real. They care. But people say people don't care because if they can convince themselves that no one cares, then they could do what they want as far as taking advantage of others. Because if you don't care about me, then I don't care about you. But you cannot lead like that in this system, a system that was set up for people to work together. And if you're not working together in order to help build each other up, then everything will fall. Hence, what happens when a person on top tells everybody on the bottom to do what they do and don't offer you any value to help you grow. They fall off. You move on until the next person rises up to the top to see what they're going to do, right? So I would suggest anybody that get into this position, take those steps. Refocus, take it all in, set new strategies and goals, learn more about the platform, and then educate others. I advise, if you have gotten off that path, to revert back to this and move forward and offer some type of valuable information on your platform to help the creators that look up to you, right? I think if I had did something like that, and unknowingly or knowingly, I think I would have had to make another video and kind of cleared my name, because a person's reputation or can precede them, whether you have money or not. If people view you as being honest and sincere and truly authentic, then they will understand you just simply made a mistake. And you can redeem yourself from that. But the key would be to, moving forward, continue to offer valuable information that will help everybody. All right, so I'm going to conclude this video today. As always, be your brothers and your sisters keepers. Keep God first. And as always, toodles.